Hey guys, welcome back to JordanSamuel Skin Talks. I wanted to crank out another video before I go to London. I can't wait to see you guys coming to London meet and greet. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. Hi. It's early in the day, like earlier than maybe usual, and I'm still working, and I'm actually performing with the ballet this week. I'm not dancing, I'm doing an acting role. So I don't have a drink, but cheers. Water. I should be drinking water actually, but I'm not. Anyway, let's get into it. Sort of random things. Mainly going to concentrate on the retinol towards the end of the video, but I want to get into some other stuff first. Or a lot of stuff first, God. Okay, so one is, there was a, well actually like quite a few of you commented, and I think as we get into this time period of year, take note and look, judge your own self, but a lot of you had said, oh, whenever I go on vacation, my skin looks so great. To me, there's something to that, which it could be different for some people. Mainly, when we're on vacation, we're not stressed. Stress wreaks havoc on the skin. It's something that we have to remember, and we have to be mindful about. Deep breathing and slowing down and drinking water and remaining hydrated and trying to sort of just be. Another thing is, because we can't usually pack everything under the sun, you have a very condensed version of products. You probably have less steps, or if you don't have less steps, you have at least consistency with what you're bringing. Those things are gold. It's what I say all the time, but when I kept getting these comments of my skin's so great on vacation, it's all these things checked as far as I'm concerned. But it's a stress thing for sure, or a reduction in stress thing for sure. Unless you're traveling with your family and you're fighting or something, so then forget it. But the other thing is consistency of products and possibly less products. Food for thought. I thought you guys would like that. I mean, it's very straightforward. I think there's no other answer than that in terms of why skin sometimes improves on vacation. Even for myself, I know I look at pictures of myself on vacation, I'm like, oh, my skin was so good. I'm like, oh, right. Those 2 weeks in Italy, I brought this, this, and this. I had nothing else to confuse me or to play with, and I was not stressed. Skin was lovely. Done. Okay, so there's a big brand out there. I saw somebody comment on this, it just bothered me. Because people are still somehow buying that like a $375 serum is worth it. And yes, they have these caviar luxury fans from... It's all margins. I guarantee I can look at the ingredients and the bottle and it's probably $10. Factor in their overhead, it probably costs $13 it costs or something. So no, $375, no, it's not worth it. It's not... It's just so silly. The margins are, yes, we need margins. We need margins across the board with everything. Cosmetics, mainly fragrance and skincare and makeup, which I think I just named all the cosmetics, but I'm glad I said cosmetics and then broke it down for you. Has some of the highest margins across the board of any retail outlet scenario. And come on. Everybody has to make their money, but come on. It's cute that you're gonna try to play the like, oh no, man, no. And the price is the marketing. That's the other thing that bothers me. It creates intrigue and curiosity when something is $375 for 1 ounce. What the hell's in it? Well, I want that. Like, it's a status thing. It's a keeping up with the Joneses thing, and big eyes roll. I think that was like, I crossed my eyes. I meant to roll my eyes. Oh, let's, technology 101, let's try to get the eye roll emoji. And moving on. You know, something that's been brought to my attention too of a lot of people who, facialists and estheticians, or are facialists and estheticians, dermatologists, but there's this new thing of people going and calling themselves skincare experts, which is fine. I mean, you can call yourself, I would never call myself a skincare expert. I also wouldn't. I go to Eve Lom and I go to all the most wonderful facialists. Experts like, no. Have we stopped learning? And really we're an expert? That's my own issue. I'm not putting that on anybody, that's my own issue. Guru, like I cringe. Like if somebody says that, I'm like, shh. But you know, when I worked for, maybe I shouldn't even mention the line. Anyway, we know the line I trained for, obviously in department stores. They brought me on because they were having this issue with turnover at department stores. And the people working behind the counter were not estheticians, were not facialists, and they were giving out wrong advice, and products were coming back and they were being returned because it wasn't the correct advice. And so this brand brought me in to train specifically the Northwest region in America on the products and on how to sell, and well, not how to sell, but how to sell the correct thing to the right person, and not worry about your numbers, and not, you know, just truly put the right products in the right hands at the right time, and things will work and things will come back to you, and that is how it works. But it's like that little bit of power of giving somebody who doesn't have training and doesn't have hands-on with the skin day in and day out, and they start recommending things, is where a lot of the confusion happens, is where a lot of the skin issues happen, and is all of the stuff that I have to undo in my practice, and then also that I try to undo through these videos and through talking to people, which is not the same as me seeing you. But I commented this on Road to Glow. I think it was Road to Glow. Is that even, did I just make up a name? No, I know that's your name. Well, I don't know if it's your name, but we'll see. Anyway, but I commented that a lot of people email me with so many questions about their skin, and I can give them, I don't even want to say answers, I can point them in a direction, but again, they are not in my facial bed. I am not touching their skin. I am not looking at their skin through a mag lamp. I am not seeing how their skin is reacting to every single product application. Sometimes as the facial goes on, even after I've diagnosed and looked at their skin under the mag lamp, after one cleanse, if their skin, I feel heat coming out of it or something has changed, the products are going to change, the treatment's going to change, which is also why I just have one facial. It's custom for you on that day. But that's how reactive and how different skin is. Skin is changing not only season to season, month to month, week to week, day to day, but even from when we wake up to when we go to bed. It just is. Oil activity, dryness, environment, hormones, stress, lack of water, not a lack of wine. So it's hard. I think it's hard to do stuff via e-news, via online, when you can't see and touch, because so many of you come to me and say like, I'm oily, and then I see you in person and I'm like, you're so dehydrated, you're a little dry, and you have a little bit of oil activity in your nose. That's not an oily skin. But then if that's what you think it is, and you tell that to somebody, and then somebody's recommending something, we see where this is going. It gets messy. Another food for thought. Grain of salt, grain of salt, grain of salt. Less but better, less is more. And moving on. Okay, so let's see here. The last thing before I get into the last thing, which is the retinol. I have a slew of questions here. Okay. This ties into the retinol thing. I had, which you can sort of figure this out. I don't want to mention the person, obviously, or the company, but it is another Seattle company. Even though there's many Seattle skincare companies, it's sort of fabulous. I had somebody come in for a facial who works for one of these companies, and they were fabulous, and I love them. And if they're watching, hi. And I hope I see you again soon. But she had mentioned that the founder of her company that she works for, has created a bunch of different retinol products. Awesome. However, as the founder, she can't use any. And I think that's a really great point to drive home. A lot of people will look at me and say like, oh, your skin's so great, I want to get every single one of your products. That's what you use every day. No, I don't. Just because I create a product for something I see out there doesn't mean that I create a lot for myself, certainly. Plie, for instance, is like for me. I created that for me. But also for a problem I was seeing, incorrect cleansing. But that means every product I come out with is not something that I'm going to personally use on my skin. So also don't confuse that with seeing a brand like Dr. Perricone, for instance. Be like, oh, he has such lovely skin, he's aging so well, I need to get all 15 of his things. No. Or even if it's specific to an ingredient, whether it's glycolic or retinol. Say if I can't really use glycolic, So say if I come out with a glycolic product because it fits a specific concern of what I'm seeing, that's great. That doesn't mean I'm using it. And I don't want people to get confused with somebody's skin looking a certain way and thinking they must be using this because it's in their line, especially now more with brands being a little bit more receptive and interacting on social media, specifically Instagram. But I think it's a really good point, and it brings me back to Lorraine Massey's comment of don't seek what isn't, you know, meant for you, essentially. Not everything is for everybody. Sometimes you just can't get on with retinol. Sometimes you just can't get on with glycolic. Sometimes you just can't get on with acids. I had a client the other day and we were talking, both of us, like, our skin doesn't really vibe acids. I don't care if it's a 0.25% salicylic or a 2% salicylic. It's just, and the pH doesn't matter. Like, the acid thing just isn't really, I can do it like once in a while really light, or like really light in my cleanser plie, which is, again, I created for myself. But other than that, like, I'm good. I'm getting exfoliation going, and I have other things that stimulate the fibroblast cells and get collagen and elastin going. But you don't have to be on an acid and on a retinol. You have to be on a cleanser and an SPF. Let's be honest. But that's it. Everything else you pepper in for your skin, whatever it is. Is it everything? Great, but settle down. Is it one other thing besides that? Awesome. But again, it doesn't have to be acids. It doesn't have to be retinols. It doesn't have to be vitamin C. It doesn't have to be niacinamide. It doesn't have to be, if I'll see people and they think the common denominator is their skin's reacting to niacinamide. If that is the case and they've been able to really narrow that down and find that that's the problem, don't seek what isn't for you. It's okay. Your skin's gonna be amazing, promise. But it's gonna be amazing if you're giving it the right things that your skin can tolerate. Woo-woo! And moving on. So now we're gonna talk a little bit, we had a wonderful Instagram Live. I need to do more of those. I just feel like the timing is weird and I can never get, but whatever, it was wonderful. And we talked a lot about retinol. And I wanna talk a little bit more, especially because the retinol has launched and people are starting to love it and ask questions and yada yada yada. So, retinol in general, is retinol for you? Maybe, maybe not. It is not for everybody. It is an active ingredient. It is a form of vitamin A. If you are currently pregnant or breastfeeding, it is not for you. I do not recommend that. Recommend it. That does not mean you can go to your doctor. No, that does mean you can go to your... What am I saying? Maybe I do need a glass of wine. What I'm trying to say is you can still go to your doctor. A lot of doctors have different ideas on what can not be done during pregnancy. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. I'm not giving, I just say, no, pregnant, breastfeeding, do not use retinol. However, your doctor might say, totally fine, what's the strength? Oh, it's an over-the-counter retinol that's 0.2%, you're fine. Or, no, you know what, 0.2% is still too much even for an over-the-counter retinol. So, take it to your doctor if you're concerned. Separately, just be safe. Better safe than sorry, right? Like retinol in, you know, a year, or healthy baby. Healthy baby. Just saying. So that's a start. As we know, it's in the dropper, not the pump. It didn't pass the quality control checks in the pump, which, you know, pumps are damn annoying. And I was doing the pump because of the stability of the retinol, and luckily, thank God, and this is why I have and use, back to like people in talking about the expertly formulated products, I work with a chemist in a lab that could do tests like that. And so as soon as the pump didn't work, we were gonna put it in the dropper, but I wanted stability testing. So essentially where like in a pump it would be good for 12 months, this is gonna be good for like 10 instead. Not the end of the world. If you're not using up your little 1 ounce retinol in 10 months, then we need to talk. But something you can do, which is not only refreshing, but extends the life of it even more than a pump would, is put it in your refrigerator, even the oil. A12 with retinol oil, put it in the refrigerator if you can and it's convenient for you and you'll remember to use it. It's awesome. It just extends the life and it keeps the retinol so potent and so fresh, which of course is what we want, and it makes the skin even better. You're gonna use it after your hydrate serum, and that could be it. You're gonna use it after your hydrate serum mixed in with a cream, putting it on, no big deal. Vitamin C and retinol can be used together, that is a myth. The biggest issue is the acidic concern of, you know, ascorbic acid. The thing is, skin is acidic, the pH is acidic. However, I'm saying that, and it is, it's retinol and niacinamide, retinol and vitamin C, they're fine. They're fine to be used together. Your face is not gonna fall off. Acids and retinols, all of that stuff. However, some people, just because they can be used together, again, we're back to, it doesn't mean it is for you. Acids retinol on this face, bye, it would not work. It doesn't work. Acids AM, retinol PM does work on my face. Not every day, but just to give you an idea, play around with it. Separately, with all of that being said, I like one active being sort of center stage, no pun intended, the entire show of your evening routine or your morning routine. But I don't want to have 76 actives on my skin with different layers, because inevitably one is going to get blocked by something else on top of it, and you're not going to get the full punch of it. So I prefer to give one thing the starring role. Nighttime retinol, daytime AHA, however it is for you. Retinol is fine to use, especially mine with the 0.2% in the AM. Just always use and reapply your SPF, okay? But I feel like I keep sitting up and then, can you see me? That would be the weirdest video. Anyway, so that is the main retinol information is. Trying to think if I have anything else. I wrote down some like silly things of that I don't really want to get into yet. We'll keep them for later. Sometimes I write them down and I haven't figured out the wording in my head, and what I will say and I know I want to say is not going to come out and really sound correct at all whatsoever. But I think that is it for now. I look forward to seeing you in London, for those of you that will be there. I think I'm going to add on to this video, maybe pepper it through, or maybe put it here at the end. I'm performing with Pacific Northwest Ballet this week and next week in Slaughter on 10th Avenue. It's a small acting role. It's one I did years ago when I was in the ballet, and they asked me to come back and do it, and I was like, yes. So that's really fun. So I might take some backstage footage, and maybe my makeup is so minimal that's not even worth showing. But maybe some dressing room fun just to add into this. And of course I will hopefully have a lot of great things filmed in London, whether it's on the iPhone or through here, and wonderful people, and look for exciting videos from possibly Jane and I, and from others and I, and Nerida will hopefully get the videos up that we filmed in February soon. I think I just said that wrong and dyslexic and weird, but whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support on Instagram. Thank you for your support on YouTube. Thank you for sharing and talking, and it means a lot. And I feel like I'm saying thank you and thank you so much all the time on Instagram and all the time on YouTube and all the time on the video. But then I feel like that's so awesome, and how grateful I am that that's the word I get to say is thank you, because y'all have been so nice and supportive to me and to the brand, and receptive to the brand and to what I'm doing. And I really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Please share, please subscribe. Spread the word of good skin. Spread the word of less but better, so we have more time for friends and family and wine. And I will see you guys soon. Love you. Thank you for watching. Bye.